Soul Garden.
Good day from my smartphone to yours. I'm Lovecasting from the Serious Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California. And this is your Monday, Namaste Today. Good day and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Christopher Oteki. I am a psychic astrologer and the Sensei to Serious Joy, here to stand in my heart and guide in the light. Welcome back. This webisode is for Monday, October 19th, 2015. And today, the human walk has progressed to step 26, Libra. Now, this is the day of commitment, and for those of you just joining me, welcome to my little web show. We are, as a human race, working on what I call our mirage, which is our relationship to ourself. And today, with step 26 ruling the day, it is time to get me-read. That is, it is time to clarify exactly what it is we're going to commit to ourselves and why, and stand behind it. Because the next energy that we get into is Scorpio, which is step 0, and that's where we actually start to draw the lines. That's where we actually start to make it happen. So Libra is the call, is the judgment, and Scorpio is the sentencing. All right, if you want to know how it works, all right? And Sagittarius is what the stories you tell yourself while you're in jail, basically. So today we're going to get me-read, and it brings us to today's topic, a year and a day. Now, a year and a day actually is an old pagan ritual that has to do with cord tying ceremony where a young couple, or maybe an old couple, I don't know, I would imagine it doesn't matter how old you are, gay couple, I imagine it was pretty cool back in the pagan times, whatever kind of couple you were, when you were thinking about marrying someone, you would do a cord ceremony where you would be engaged for a year and a day. After which, if it didn't work out, you could leave it or leave her behind. So this is really cool because I don't think there was an issue with premarital sex back then. So I think this is like a way of like trying people out. I think it's a smart, brilliant way. But I bring it up because I am going to get married to myself for a year and a day. And then in 1 year, 1 day from now, I'm going to decide, do these vows work? I recommend you do as well. I recommend that you make some vows to yourself and you stick to them. And they're very helpful when you have them written down, when you have them listed for yourself, because when you get in times of jeopardy in the given year, whether it's career or love or children or creativity, you got to go back to your marriage vows. What have you promised yourself in basic form to do and be there for yourself? And I don't care how old you are, I bet you've never even had a marriage vow ceremony or even thought about what your vows are to yourself. They've just been sort of principles that you throw out there in different conversation, but never sat down and said, this is my constitution, this is my Bill of Rights, these are my marriage vows to myself. So today we're going to get me-read, and everyone's getting me-read. Now, it's very likely that today, given the architecture of incarnation, that you might be getting married to someone out there, that you might be putting yourself in some sort of context with someone else. You might be lining up with a business, lining up with the job, lining up with the team, lining up with a way of thinking. You might be getting married to, Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders thinking. It's like this really kind of goes everywhere. This in Libra, the sun in Libra in these next 4 days, this is kind of picking out, okay, who's on my team, who's not on my team, whose team am I on, whose team am I not on. And again, as your Sensei to Serious Joy, I can't tell you enough, whose team you're on is all based on whether you're on your own team to begin with. So, today's 5 o'clock question is, very simple, what are your marriage vows? What are your marriage vows to you? What are they? What do you vow to yourself? What do you vow to yourself for a year and a day? You can always, in a year and a day, decide, you know what, this didn't work, I'm going to throw this out, I'm not doing this year. And you could go, oh, I'll wait till my birthday to do what Chris is saying. I'm the Sensei to Serious Joy. I'm telling you, Libras, when you have to do it. I don't care when your birthday is. This is the time when you need to make that vow to yourself, because once lines get drawn in Scorpio, the teams are very clear, and this is where the collective is on a path together. Your follow-up question is, What are you divorcing today? Wonk, 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 wonk. Because, you know, basically, as I say, when every door opens and door closes, wonk, wonk, wonk. But that's true in the universe, too. If you're going to get married, that means you're getting divorced. And so I think it's very clear to know what you're getting divorced from, or what vows you're divorcing from, or maybe what behavior. Maybe you didn't even get married to those vows. Maybe you're just whoring around with those marriage vows, and they're not working, and you divorce yourself from some of those marriage practices for yourself. And by the way, it's been my experience, it's one of the fundamental principles and fundamental steps to serious joy. Step 6, to receive from yourself. You must be able to receive from yourself. You must be in a relationship to yourself in order to have fun in life, period. So, it's time to make some marriage vows. Now, I will share with you a couple of my vows in case you're curious what kind of things I promised myself. I've made, you know, I think a lot of marriage vows are kind of obvious in the sense of they're based on relationships. So I have vowed to never enter a long-term relationship where I'm sacrificing from the beginning. Like, I vowed that I will never put myself, so when I talk to myself, Chris, in the mirror, I'm like, I swear to God, I will never put you in slave labor again. I'm so sorry. Like, I have sent myself into slave labor so many times. I'm like, I will not slave you out. I will not whore you out. I will not sell more of you than you're worth. I will not give more of you away than I should be. You know, like, I will totally own it. We will go without if we have to. That's fine. You know, like, so I've realized that, and this is my ego talking to my heart. This is my mind talking to my heart. This is the earth part of me that's run away with the power talking back to my soul and my heart in the marriage, because that's what it is. If you want to know the essence of the marriage, is your soul came down, gave you a body, and it's really the soul that holds the body. It's not the body that holds the soul. So we're in this bubble that comes down from heaven and holds the body. So the marriage is with this earth version of us and this heavenly version of us, and we have either been true to our vows or we have not been true to our vows, to our higher self, the part of us sponsoring this whole getup. So one of the things I promised myself in my marriage vows is that I'm not going to slave myself out anymore. I'm not going to, I'm going to wait before I get married to anyone. Like, I'm going to, like, wait a few minutes before I let my daughter marry someone. You know what I mean? I'm going to run background checks on anyone I sign up with. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do that before. A lot of it's like, part of my problem has always been that I went with my gut. My gut's like, are they a good person? Yes. My gut's like, yeah, they're a good person. I didn't ask, like, are they responsible? Will they cover my back? I was like, you know, so I didn't ask the right thing. So the point is like, you know, this is where we learn from our mistakes, and we go, okay, I have time and time again done this, you know, this is insanity. It can't continue. That's where you put a marriage vow, right? So you could say, so really what I vow to do is I vow, you know, the marriage vow itself is I vow to enter into relationships that are equal only. That's really the vow. I'm divorcing myself from the slavery. I'm divorcing myself from giving it away. I'm divorcing myself from being afraid of being alone and giving it away because I was afraid of being alone. I'd rather be good with me so that when we go back to wherever it is we go, I can high-five myself and be like, forgive this planet, man. I don't want to, you know, I want it to be very clear what down. Did I let myself down, or did this planet not work out for me? So today it's time to get me revowed, and anyone who is in my personal Sensei service, you will get at 5 o'clock the question to ask yourself in your marriage vow today. The one I think that's most important for check your cell phones in your local time at 5 p.m. So without further ado, let's dive in and see what my guides have to say today about the energies and what's going on with the I Decide divide. Okay. All right, so what comes up right away actually is still Mars and Jupiter and Saturn is what they feel very strong on. And so Mars and Jupiter, just so everyone knows, Mars is our male drive, Jupiter is our belief. Our beliefs and our male drive are moving forward right now. So people have been really irritable over the weekend. They've been really just, lots of fights and thunderbolts and all sorts of stuff. That energy is the Mars and Jupiter, you know, which is that explosive energy of the age of Aquarius. And it is explosive. And so everyone's feeling this explosive energy. Well, my guides are saying, you know, a lot of this comes down to, again, in your mirage, it's like, my vow is to stick, one of my vows is to stick to myself emotionally all the time and to check my feelings before I respond to the world. So I vow to check my feelings before I respond to the world. It's one of my vows. And today, that's one of the vows I think you should make to yourself. It's like, we're letting go of a lot of times where things went wrong. I guess connected to all this energy, when you say I'm moving forward, you're also saying I'm divorcing the past. But you have to forgive and forget. You have to let that past go. You can't be yelling at it on its way out the door like, hey, and you know another thing. It's like you're not letting go of it. Like, so I think a lot of us are just in a lot of turbulent energy because we really want to get this past off. We really want to live a new day. We really want to believe that it will happen. And I think Jupiter in Virgo is kind of like, you know, the wrong way to go with Jupiter in Virgo is looking for proof, because Jupiter in Virgo is here to make the proof, okay? So if you look for the proof, you're looking in yesterday's creations. What? Why would you look in yesterday's? This is all boring. Clearly, this doesn't work. Clearly. You know what I mean? Watch any network on television. You'll find out it ain't working, folks, anywhere. Not one nation seems to be happy. You know, like, that's why I'm like, I think the serious joy business might take off. No one's happy, right? So the point is that, what is the point with Techie? The point is that we can look at what we see as reality, or we can use Jupiter in Virgo to create the reality we want. And the beginning of creating the reality we want is deciding to emotionally respond differently to the old stuff, okay? You want to create a new reality? Then don't have a fit about the old reality. You want to create a new this? Then calm yourself down about the old stuff. Let it go. You can't have both. And you can't take your friends or your family to heaven. They have to follow you in a single file line. So we can't take our friends. Anyone's not ready. I'm sorry. I'll see you in there. Do your push-ups. And let's get in there. Let's get into serious joy into heaven. So the work is really your own feelings, your own like spookiness, your own emotions today. And oh my God, I just went down to where's the moon? It's crossing Pluto. So with the moon crossing Pluto, we really are getting divorced. We really are letting go of an old time. It's a time when we believed different things, so things were different. And that's always the excuse. It's like when you go back in time in history, this is the last thing I want to leave you, because what we're going to do today is leave some old emotion behind. Well, it's like when you go back in history, well, we always say, oh, that's not a big deal. That's when we believe a different thing. For instance, I always bring up the fact that Thomas Jefferson had a very, very young wife. Like, I think she was 13. Okay, like, and like we talk right now, Thomas Jefferson, you do that? I mean, you can't even send, you know, could Thomas Jefferson sext a picture to a 13-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. It's like, no way. It's like, you think about that, but it's like, well, that was a different time, different belief. Today, when you let go of your old stuff, same thing. Whatever it is you can't let go of, well, that was a different time, that was a different belief. And you can see in the history of humanity that that, in fact, is a possibility. And it's time. It's time for us to build a new world. And it's time for us to start right now in this one. All right, my friends. I'm getting the signal to go. My guides are like, come on, let's go. Let's wrap this up. Such a pleasure. Hey, come on down to soulgarden.tv. That's my mothership. You can leave comments for me there. I've removed comments from YouTube. I'm pulling all stuff back to soulgarden.tv. So if people want to comment, I love to hear from you, and I'd love to respond to you. And I do monitor comments every day. So come on down to soulgarden.tv. You'll also be able to register. And as a registered member, you'll have access to other videos and some background stuff. And I'll be releasing some new stuff now that Mercury is direct. Also, if you want to be part of my Serious Alerts, you can follow me on Twitter at @CWateki. Thank you so much, my friends. I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Hey, write down your marriage vows and be clear of what you're divorcing in your life. Until then, remember, I love you and live, love, be.
So